And as most of our regular viewers will know, we try to have a segment each week devoted to better health and wellness.
And most of these segments have either looked at diseases or diet, and we've also done a couple of segments on exercise. Stretching is also a key component of fitness, but one that few people seem to talk about or specialize in.
The emphasis always seems to be on cardio or spinning or weight training, but so many people are getting hurt, giving chiropractors lots of business because they don't incorporate proper stretching into their routines.
Our guest is also one of my oldest friends, Gayle Duncanson, who's been teaching fitness and the merits of stretching to thousands of Torontonians for over X number of years, 30 years.
30 years.
You're going to tell
Gayle,
us.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us first of all, well, it's great to have you here. Tell us first of all, why is it that people pay so little attention to stretching? It's not as if it's a hard thing to do.
Well, what happened in many years ago in the 70s, there were about 5 of us in 5 studios in Toronto that had an hour stretch class, each one of us checking each other out and stuff, and it was something that everybody did. It was an hour stretch class a week. People went to their cardio, they went to their weight training, and then they had their hour stretch class. It has just gone by the wayside because I just don't feel that people have taken the, number one, people are always, what you just said, weight, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna lose weight. Well, stretching, they think doesn't lose weight. People don't know about stretching right now, and I don't know why, because of dancers, it used to be that Pilates teachers were only dancers. You were only a Pilates teacher if you were a dancer,
and
you were only trained.
Used to the warm-ups, or
no, that's the way we're trained. It made sense to us. What the exercises were made sense. Our bodies went that way. Our bodies felt comfortable doing these things, and we knew the body that way, and so that was sort of that was the beginning of the going slower and trying to really focus on what are you doing to that muscle? How is that muscle working? And Pilates brought that out. And he was magnificent because he brought out a whole new way of doing stomach exercises. But he also spent time on the stretching side of things. And his story was so huge. I mean, he was in a car accident, he was total, every bone was broken. Stretching was where he got to. It wasn't the physio, it wasn't all that. It was trying to lengthen the muscles again.
Do you know, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just, don't you need the stretching to prepare for the cardio and the other things? I mean,
No.
Trainers don't
you
really take you there.
No, you never need the beginning. You don't want to ever stretch on a cold muscle.
You don't?
You do not, and that's dangerous.
But runners do that too. They stretch or
not
they
much.
limber up.
They limber up. But
that's not the same as stretching.
No.
That's interesting because in my experience with exercise, usually you do a perfunctory 2 minutes of stretches to supposedly limber up the muscles, and then you get straight into the cardio and straight into the weights, and really there's no emphasis placed on the stretching, but you're saying that you don't even need to do that at the start.
And that has been the change because they're telling people that on a cold muscle, it's like an elastic.
Yep.
You leave an elastic outside in this cold weather, it breaks, so therefore it's an elastic. Once you have warmed up that elastic moves and opens up. You have to get to those muscles warmed up and already exercised, so they're already, everything has been warmed up, the muscle's ready to be then stretched because you've been tightening it. If you're doing weights, you've been really tightening that muscle. So that muscle is just so, like, you know when some people clench their...
The jaw.
And then they say, I need to relax, I need to relax. And that's what the stretching is.
We have a photograph of one of your classes, which we'll bring up on the monitor. Take us through, there's a typical class. Take us through what you do. You do a full hour of stretching?
I do a full hour twice a week of stretching, which is the only one in Toronto, which is unbelievable when you think of all the clubs and everything else that we have in Toronto. And that particular, I chose that picture because did you see all the different sizes, all the different ages I work with?
No, it's quite a variety of people. How big a class is that, though?
Well, usually it's 30 people.
Yeah, I guess because of stretching, you can have a large group.
Absolutely. And we all focus, and as you can see, they come every week, And they've changed. I have testimonials that you wouldn't even believe. It's changed my life. I have a person with rheumatoid arthritis.
Wow.
She couldn't even get out of bed. Now she never misses a stretch class because it's allowing her to live.
These are all women. Do you do separate classes for men, or do you have men in your classes?
No, I have men in my classes. Andy, my husband, comes, and I have another gentleman that comes all the time. So I have 3 gentlemen that are always there.
But
Do
it's
you
mostly
differentiate?
women?
Yeah, sorry, do you differentiate exercises for men and women?
It is very difficult in
Yeah.
the stretching side. Men do not have the flexibility that women have, and their hamstrings are much, much tighter than ours are. So yes, I use elastic bands, you know, to really work on that. A man does have a little bit more trouble, but gets just as much out of it as a woman does in a different kind of a way. They doesn't get as much. But I work very much on my stretching with mindfulness. So I do mind and body. So when I do stretch, I say, now I'm working on, I can't show you here, but I'm working on this muscle. And so you close your eyes and you really focus on really lengthening that muscle. And so it just changes your whole body. And the stories that you get from stretching, you don't get from my weight training classes.
Sure.
You know, I don't get those stories.
So do you incorporate into the stretching classes other things like cardio or weights?
Never.
Nothing. It's all the
Oh no,
body.
this is just, you come to a stretch class, and that's all we do for an hour. Or you can come to my weight training class. But every single one of my classes, if it's not a stretch class, is always 15 minutes left at the end to do a full 15-minute stretch. I won't let anybody leave.
because
Even
the
if-
body is fully warmed up at
Totally.
that point, and it's
And if
ready
I
to
let you go
stretch.
out and you've been doing weight training and you pick up your purse that's 30 pounds, because I weigh your women's purses
Right.
all the time, and you pick up that purse and you haven't let that muscle release, you're shocking your body.
Gayle, so many people are so stressed for time, particularly, well, I don't even want to say particularly men, because men and women are stressed for time.
Totally.
Do you get a lot of people coming to you and saying, appreciate the stretching, but can you give me something that does include cardio and does include weights and will help me lose 10 pounds, and it can all be done in 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week?
30 minutes I don't believe in. I'm sorry. I just, that's not
I was
me.
begging you
Sorry.
for an
There's
answer.
no fast version of
No,
this.
there's no, you know,
No.
I don't believe in that. I do have hour classes that include all what you just said. If you want to lose weight, you come to my physique class, you come to my weight training class. If you want to tone your body and really feel your muscles look like a dancer, come to my Pilates class.
Yeah.
If you want to have a life, come to my stretch class.
So just picking up on what Jim said, people are so pressed for time. So is there something they could do at home or
Yes.
more easily incorporate into
We
their
have
own
some photos.
schedules? Yes.
So every morning, okay, before you get up to go to the bathroom, okay, so you are lying in bed. Okay, every woman looks at me and goes, oh, I don't think I can do this.
I don't think I can wait.
I don't think I can do this. Anyway, you lie, and I've got a picture of what you should be doing. So
It's going to come up any
It'll come
moment,
up.
we hope.
Perfect. And so you do that, and you just tell your husband or your wife to just move over just a little bit,
Yeah.
okay? And you take your legs over to one side, your arms to the opposite, and then you do the other side, the arms to the legs into the
Stretch your
arms.
knees
Stretch
over
your knees
towards
over.
the ground.
This is for people. I have had incredible success with people with bad backs. They've gone to chiropractors, they've gone to all these physiotherapists, and they've said to me, after 4 months of doing this, religiously,
Wow.
back is perfect.
And how long do they have to do this?
Just you hold it for about, you know, you have to go to the bathroom, so you think about it, you're waking up, and you just hold it and just really mindfully think, okay, I'm trying to release that lower back. I've just been sleeping. Okay, so I would say for 3 or 4 minutes, doesn't mean anything.
Here's
And
another
then
one coming up too.
This other one that I've got, I'm sorry, is on the floor, but you can turn around and put your leg up on your bed. So you're facing your bed, and you put your leg up onto
The extended leg that goes on the bed.
and just
Okay.
reach towards your bed.
Yeah.
Again,
And that's
easy
your
to do at
hamstring.
home. Okay, hamstring.
Hamstring is your number one. If your hamstring is loose, then you won't have bad backs. You won't have bad knees. I know that we're all so excited because we've got new knees and new hips that people put in all the time. You don't want to have new hips. I do have clients with
You want to keep the old ones.
I have some of those ladies in there. I have a lady that has 2 new hips and a new knee. I have a gentleman that has 2 knees, 2 new knees. I have a lot of people with new knees and new hips. I don't want us to have that. And I believe, too, if I did the research, that if I wanted to work with a person that does new knees and new hips, I'd love to do the research and say, okay, let me take that person and teach them how to stretch. And they probably won't need a new knee.
We've got time for one question. I just wanted to ask you, how did you get into this? What motivated you to get into this line of work these last 30 years?
Well, I was with the National Ballet School and then the company, and sort of left the company and started dancing around the world thinking this is what I'm going to do. And then I had this wonderful stepfather that told me, sort of said, I think you should go to university. And so at university, I was sort of didn't have enough money, and so I saw this beautiful room they had at Glendon College, and I went to the principal and I said, can I take the room and just teach a exercise?
We've got
And
to
the rest
interrupt.
is history.
Yeah, we've got to interrupt. Gayle, thanks so much for being with us. That was really useful. For more information on Gayle's programs and classes, visit her website, gayleforce.ca.
And we'll be right back to talk about toxins and what they're doing to our health.